Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. So yes, it's been about 3 weeks, maybe a little more, since I've put a video out, and the reason for it is it's been the summer holidays here and the kids are off, and I always find motivation really hard when I've got the kids off from school and they wanting to go and do things, etc, or they're out playing, then they're in the house and then they're out the house. So I always find it difficult to kind of break away from that. And also I think it becomes a real problem, because when you're doing this sort of creative endeavor, which is photography, it's really difficult to keep that motivation going all the time. There comes a point where you really need to kind of have a break from it and just walk away, put the camera down, put it away, and just walk away from it all and just have a break. And I tend to do that every year. I have a break from it. I go and build stuff around the house. I go and get on with stuff that I really wanted to do. I've made an oak table. I've made an oak cupboard to put the electric meter in. I've just been doing stuff that I don't normally get time to do. I've been kind of putting this photography aside and doing that, and it really helps to focus the brain and basically let it have a rest from just constantly trying to create. I think that's what I'm trying to get at here. So in order to get back to it all, in order to get back into it, because I've got workshops coming up in Canada in the next couple of weeks or so, I really wanted to kind of get out, even if it was just with the camera, just to come and take a few shots. Now I'm lucky enough to have this sort of beautiful landscape right on my doorstep. It's like 5 minutes drive from me. So really there's no excuse for me not to come out and try and do something. So really what I'm doing today is, we've got weather moving through all the time. There's rain one minute, there's sun the next, and that's just epic conditions for me. I love that kind of storm light. I love that kind of light that's ever changing, and that's what I really want to photograph today. So I'm looking for subjects that I can work with all of this going on, and there's quite a few. Obviously we've got this farm up behind me here. We have these beautiful dramatic clouds rolling over, so I'm gonna find something. It's just a case of waiting around for this light to change, and you can see it's changing now as I'm standing here. This is what I love, because these are the kind of conditions where you actually get images that really, really work. It's just finding a subject to work with. And what I've got here is, because of the time of year, we're heading towards autumn, early autumn, and we've got all of these rowan trees around me here. All have got red berries on them, so there's lots of texture shots. We've got the clouds, as I said. We have cattle in the fields, there's farms, there's all sorts. I'm sure I'll be able to come up with something. Now most of these shots I'm going to take today are going to be done with the telephoto lens, and I'm using the Sigma 100-400 lens for this, because it's one of those locations where there's nothing really close to me. It's all distant shots, and it's a really good opportunity to kind of use these longer lenses and pick out these details further away, and it kind of saves me trudging away up through this field, which is quite marshy and wet anyway. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. I'll set this up though, and I'll show you this composition. And what you should be able to see, well, I need to be able to see first to be able to tell you. So what you should be able to see is I've got this lovely frame set up. Now what really draws me to this is all those gnarly trees I was telling you about, all those berries on those trees and all the textures. And that's what's really beautiful at this time of year. You've got all of this happening, all these kind of reds, and the greens are still kind of clinging on, and then we've got the start of the autumn colours just starting to come through in some of the trees further down the hill there. But this really works for me, because you've got these gnarly branches going in all directions, then the reds of the berries. But as you can see, it's really quite harsh. So I've been kind of underexposing, as I do normally in all of my photography really. I use that technique to underexpose and then lift the shadows back up. But you'll see that we've got that tree, which is kind of up towards that kind of top section of the top third of the image. You've got all those gnarly branches down there, and I've got that line of the thirds kind of running down through that. That's not overly important, but I'm just trying to using it to kind of balance the frame out. And then along the bottom of the frame down here, if I move my focus point down, you'll be able to see just down here we have this branch moving in the bottom here, which is a tree that's fallen over, so I really quite like that detail. And then above that we have more of those kind of gnarly branches kind of splaying out. You can see the light's kind of dropped off it a bit, so you can see those forms and textures and shapes a lot better now. And that's kind of what I'm waiting for, really, is that light just to fade off. You want a little bit of light going on there to kind of give a bit of interest, but at the same time you don't want it so bright that it just kind of overpowers the whole scene and then there's no dynamics to it. It's just totally washed out and bright, or if there's no light on it at all, it's just kind of flat looking. So you kind of want it in between there, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for, is just those moments where you're getting clouds going over enough to kind of give you some dappled light coming through there, just to kind of make the whole scene lift a bit more. But yeah, simple enough on here. I'm at 125th of a second, f8, ISO 160, which is my base ISO on this X-T4. And that's the camera that I'm using, because obviously I've got this longer lens on, which I haven't got on the GFX, and that's what I really love about this camera, the ability to push me in and get me closer to these scenes. So yeah, nice simple shot. I'm just going to wait for that light to happen, and when it does, I'll pop the image up for you. Okay, so I've barely moved at all, a few feet actually from where I was shooting before, but it's not really important to kind of go to loads of different locations. It's just more a case of getting back into it, getting back into the process, getting back into used to shooting again, getting a camera in your hand, getting a feel for it, and getting an eye back for the composition. And that's really what I want to do today. It's less about the actual images I'm producing and more about the fact that I'm learning to, because I've had that little break, it's learning to see again and learning to find the images that are actually going to work for me. So with that in mind, I've found another composition using these beautiful colours and textures again. And basically what it is, there's three main trees in the image. So if I press record on here now, you'll be able to see. It's basically the whole concept of this image, to my eye anyway, is that I'm seeing three elements to it, and that is this the lovely berries on this bush down in the lower left hand third, and then in the kind of middle third but off to the right we have this other tree as well, which they've both got kind of beautiful shapes. And then behind that, the last element that I want to include is that middle tree, which is right in the middle of the frame there, which is kind of it's not got as many berries on it. It's a different kind of tree, and it's got more frame to it. It's got more of a character to it, I would say, than the other two. The other two give those beautiful shapes, but that's the character tree. So those are the three elements I'm really seeing in the image, and those are the ones that I really want to include. The rest of what's happening is more kind of a backdrop to what's happening, but that's the really important part for me. So, whoa, look at that, you can actually see some deer running through the frame there. So basically what we have is that tree in that middle of the frame and those two trees kind of opposite corners. Not quite, but that's the kind of idea of it. And it's just trying to give that balance, and that's those three elements really do give that balance. And then the rest of the kind of frame is made up of those greens that I was talking about before. We still have, the greens are still quite vibrant because we haven't really had a cold spell as yet. So they're still quite lively. And this is one of the times of the year that I really enjoy, because you've got all these different textures going on, but the grass is still got life in it. It's not gone those brown colours yet. It's still got those really vibrant colours. So that's the idea of the frame. Really simple settings again. I'm at 1/25th of a second, f8, 160 ISO, and I have my stabilization switched on. Because we have this wind, I've got this longer lens on, and I've actually switched lenses down to the 16-300 so I can get a little bit further back. So yeah, I've got the stabilization on, because even if you've got a light wind, yes, it's on a tripod, but when you're looking through the viewfinder, you can still see those micro movements, and those are going to carry through into those vibrations, and it will kind of make those images out of focus. So I always experiment when it's like that, because sometimes you can get a little lull where the wind drops, and then that ibis is fighting with what's going on. But as long as you still have those movements going on, I always use the ibis just to make sure. Anyway, nice simple shot. I'm going to pop the images up once I get the right light, and yeah, hopefully they've worked out. Right, so I came running up that hill, and the reason for it is I could see that these dark clouds appearing above the farm over here. So I'm just going to press record on the back of here so you can see what I'm looking at. Now, what really draws me to this image is we have light on the landscape down here. If I just raise the exposure here to see a little bit better, we have light on the landscape down there. We have this beautiful road kind of leading you in, which curves around and into that farm. And I'm basically framing it up using the third grids. Now, that's not to say that I use these thirds all the time. I just use them to kind of guide me as to where the best balance is going to be in the frame. So with that in mind, that's what I'm seeing, is basically that curving road, the farm in that kind of, on that intersection of that third there. You can just see where my focus point is if I just click on that now. And then above that, we have these dark clouds. And there was some beautiful clouds moving through. We have some nice texture. The sun is coming down and illuminating that the ground in front of the farm there, and then you've got those dark brooding clouds behind. So what I usually do is, if I just lower my exposure again, that's where I usually sit. My sweet spot is to kind of underexpose by a stop, and that means that I don't have to blend two images. I don't have to blend a foreground image to get the light on the landscape and then blend another one of the sky above to retain that detail. I can kind of get away with it that way. I'm just going to adjust my my level there, because it's just shifting ever so slightly. Make sure that I've got my ibis switched on, because there is movement in this lens. And then yeah, just keep grabbing the shot. At the minute, to be one stop under, I'm at, my shutter speed's at 400th of a second, f8, 160 ISO, and yeah, I just keep altering that as the light changes. And the exciting part of this is because it's so dynamic up here and the weather's ever changing and unpredictable, that's when you get these fleeting moments of light that just work so well. And those are the moments that really excite me. That's what I kind of love in my photography, and that's the moments that I really enjoy photographing. So we may get some rain. It's looking like it's getting a bit more stormy, so you never know. That's really when the magic happens. So fingers crossed we get some nice conditions for it. But it's just a really nice scene, and I actually haven't taken this scene before, although it's 5 minutes away from where I live. I've never really concentrated on the farm and using the road to lead up to it, but I've kind of come away. At the minute, I've got 3 compositions in the space of 20 minutes, and it's just fantastic to be back outside again, fantastic to get the peace and quiet again, and yeah, just enjoying being back. So what do you do to get yourself back out there and creating again? And really, there's nothing else to it other than to pick the camera up and force yourself to get out there. Sometimes it's a bit difficult after a bit of a hiatus, after a bit of a break from creating, to kind of force yourself back into that and just get the interest back again. But there's nothing else to it. Is just to get yourself out there. Once you're actually out there, it's not a problem. It's just the thought. It's the thought of getting back into it. It's the worry of kind of being able to create again. But it'll just click. As soon as you get back into this beautiful landscape, wherever it might be, it'll start to click with you again. And it's just a case of just pushing yourself that little bit more just to get back out. And it's so worth it. I love being out here. There's nothing more I would rather be doing than being outside, being out in nature, watching this fantastic light happening and just creating. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I know it's been a little bit short, but it was just a case of getting back out here and getting back into it. Go and check out my website, sign up for the newsletter, because all the information is going to be there. Upcoming workshops, videos that are coming out, images that are going to be released, all of that's going to be coming in that newsletter to you. So please go and sign up for that. Have a look around the website, see what's there, and yeah, be great to have you on there and having a look around. Okay, so the next journey is going to be to Canada, into the Rockies, and I'm looking forward to that. If I get a chance to get out again before then, I'll get another video done then, but otherwise, hopefully I'll get some content while I'm there, and yeah, hope you can join me then. Okay guys, take care, and I'll see you on the next video soon. Bye bye.